My God, I hate drugs.
Alleged pork barrel scam mastermind Janet Lim Napoles is out of the Witness Protection Program, or WPP. Justice Secretary Menardo Guevarra informed Napoles in a letter that the provisional protection granted to her under the WPP, which expires on May 26, would not be extended. In February, former Secretary Vitaliano Aguirre granted Napoles provisional protection for 90 days after she cited threats to her safety. Napoles also asked to be transferred from detention in Camp Bagong Diwa to a secure housing facility where the public has limited access. Guevarra sees no reason to extend the protection coverage, saying there has been no further claim of threats to Napoles at Camp Bagong Diwa. CNN Philippines spoke with Napoles' lawyer Stephen David, who regrets the Justice Department's move.
Sayang hindi na malaman ng tao kung sino talaga yung mga involved sa na talagang yung ibang involved na malalaki na hindi na sayang, di ba? Kasi mahirap naman magsalita siya na may threat sa buhay niya doon sa loob. Nakakapanghinayang lang. Ang dami dapat na maimbestigahan pa, hindi makakatulong yun.
Asked if Napoles would refuse to talk without witness protection, David says his client is willing to testify as long as her security is guaranteed. Meantime, presidential spokesperson Harry Roque says Malacanang supports the Justice Department's decision to take Napoles out of the WPP. Roque adds, quote, Lim Napoles is not least guilty, whose testimony is not indispensable, unquote. Barangay Catmon in the city of Malabon is under a state of calamity. That's after at least 1,000 families lost their homes in a fire yesterday. Firefighters say they had trouble putting out the blaze because the houses were made of mixed materials. The city fire marshal had to call in help from other fire stations. The Fire Bureau estimates the damage at about 4.5 million pesos. Initial information revealed that a spark from an illegal connection may have started the fire. Former Chief Justice Maria Lourdes Sereno asks for an extension on a show cause order against her. This is for allegedly violating the sub judice rule, which prohibits comments that pertain to pending judicial proceedings. Sereno allegedly broke the rule earlier by discussing the merits of the co-warrant to petition against her in public. Sereno spokesperson Josa Dainla says the motion was filed this afternoon. She adds the former Chief Justice is asking for a 15-day extension. The Labor Department submits to President Rodrigo Duterte the names of over 3,000 companies that violate the ban on illegal contracting. The list includes top corporations. Fuel prices continue to rise and the peso further slides. CNN Philippines business analyst explains if there's reason for concern. Alleged pork scam queen Janet Lim Napoles is removed from the Witness Protection Program. Labor Secretary Silvestre Bello says more than 3,300 companies are suspected to be engaged in illegal contracting. Bello submitted the list of companies to President Duterte today. He says these firms were found to be engaged in or suspected to be engaged in labor-only contracting or other illegal contracting or subcontracting schemes that violate an employee's right to security of tenure. The list is based on reports submitted by the department's regional offices. Mr. Duterte last month ordered Bello to name these companies. Secretary Bello tells CNN Philippines the companies on the list are mostly in the manufacturing, retail, and hotel sectors. A telecommunications giant and a leading multinational fast food chain are also included.
Like for example, yung Jollibee, yung Budget, yung PLDT, yung mga hotels like Dusit Tani ba yun? O yung, if I'm not mistaken, Sofitel is also one of the non-compliant hotels. Meron din yung generic pharmacy. Nandiyan din yung Toll Philippines. Toll Philippines is also included. This is just an initial report to the President because he gave us 30 days to submit to him yung mga companies na non-compliant with the labor laws and standards, especially on engaging yung labor-only contractors.
Bilyones says SM Supermalls is not on the list because the retail giant has submitted a program of regularization. SM promises to make regular some 10,000 workers in the coming years. President Duterte reiterated his promise to go after airing companies when he signed Executive Order 51, which is a reinforcement of Department Order 174 issued by DOLE last year. The department order imposes stricter regulations in labor contracting schemes, although it still allows some forms of contractual work. The companies on the DOLE list have 30 days to comply with the department order or face heavy fines. The Labor Department will also issue an order regularizing the workers of these firms.
We will give them enough time to comply naman. We are also conscious of the challenges of the business. Kaya ang importante is they're willing to comply, and that to us is already a good development on the issue.
Now, one of the companies on the list, telecommunications giant PLDT, in a statement says it received the decision of the Labor Secretary on April 30th. PLDT says it filed a petition for review before the Court of Appeals on May 2. The company says, quote, certain aspects of the decision were inconsistent with applicable law, jurisprudence, and the documentary and testimonial evidence presented to the DOLE Secretary. CNN Philippines is still reaching out to the other companies mentioned by Labor Secretary Silvestre Bello. Senator Grace Poe is supporting calls to suspend excise taxes on fuel as part of the tax reform packages. Poe, who is the committee chair on public services, calls on the Finance Department to evaluate the suspension of the fuel excise tax. She explains this is to cushion its impact on Filipinos. But the Finance Department says otherwise, explaining that it can only suspend the next increase if conditions are met. Calls for the fuel excise tax suspension rose amid the rising oil prices in the international market. We asked you, how are you coping with the rising cost of goods and services? And a lot of netizens are rolling with the punches. Facebook user Pidon Lagrada chooses not to whine but finds ways to cut costs. Some of his tips: take the bus instead of driving, plant vegetables instead of buying them, and don't travel if you don't have to. Lord Kurt Dantes keeps his answer simple. He says, smart spending, healthy living. Additional take-home pay is greater than household expenses. Rolly Nunez sees this as a chance to lose weight, saying, diet, honestly, diet. Meantime, Dolene Peterson lists down some advantages to the higher prices of goods. Among them is a dip in the number of smokers, drinking sessions, and car buyers. He adds it's good for the health because you'll get additional exercise and cut down on vices. Peterson also says it's okay as long as the government will make use of the collected taxes properly. Now, a story concerning commuters. Grab files an appeal to reimpose its 2 peso per minute travel charge. In the petition filed May 22nd, Grab noted that transport regulators allowed new transport network companies to impose travel charges. Last month, Grab was ordered by the LTFRB to suspend the 2 peso per minute fee. PBA Party List Representative Jericho Nograles slammed the fee as illegal. He said the charge was imposed without the knowledge of the public. Grab, however, maintains it has been transparent to its riders. Now, aside from the appeal to reimpose the travel charge, Grab also has another petition for a fare increase pending at the LTFRB. Here are today's global headlines. North Korea says its leader Kim Jong-un is still willing to meet with U.S. President Donald Trump at any time. That's after the U.S. leader canceled what would have been a historic summit between them. A top official at Pyongyang's foreign ministry says Mr. Trump's decision is not consistent with the desire of humankind for peace and stability in the region. President Trump canceled the summit Thursday in a letter addressed to Kim Jong-un. He cited recent hostile comments from top North Korean officials and concern over Pyongyang's commitment to giving up its nuclear weapons.